because my memberships are missing you. They call me, please. I'll do anything.
What is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great evening, because if you invested in Saitama and you got wrecked, or you invested in Lilian Finance and you got wrecked, then you are feeling it today. Okay, so let's give kind of a breakdown of what is happening right now. Today, 4 market makers were busted by the FBI. Now, was everybody arrested? I don't know. I think some people are holding on to this semantics. I have some people who have been arguing with me about Brad Beatty from Lilian Finance. In fact, now there's going to be a question: was Brad behind the Coinbase scam? That's going to be one of the questions that's going to come up over the next little while. By the way, Brad now has his own new project called MetaChain X, which I did tag them in it, because it's very important that we all know that if you have a scammer out here running game on people, that it is important for us to at least be able to point out who those people are. And look, up until a couple hours ago, I wasn't for or against Brad or Russell or any of these other guys. Maybe I don't like them, maybe I don't talk about them, but I'm not against them or opposed to them until federal indictments start coming around. So if you like this kind of content, by the way, we're going to break down, because I've got all the data and I've got the lawsuits, I've got everything that you need. And guess what you need to do? Hey, McFly, why don't you hit the like button? What is wrong with you? What are you doing? Hit the like button. Hit the like button. All right, so let's break this down, because this is going to get kind of interesting. Now, one more thing before we get started. You will notice that JumpX is no longer here. Get your money off of JumpX. Now, I was told that there is an issue with JumpX. Now, JumpX is closing down. I don't know if Fairdesk is closing down or not, but JumpX was a spinoff and an offshoot of Fairdesk. And they anticipated, Fairdesk did, that when they pivoted into Jump Crypto, that about 70% of, or Jump Trading, I think it was called, or JumpX Crypto or JumpX Trade, whatever, that they were anticipating about 70% of the people on Fairdesk would migrate over, and then they could build from there. But only about 10 or 20% of those people migrated over. And just for clarity here, my agreement with them was $500 per week in futures money. And if I win on a trade, then I get to cash it out. So the first week I cashed it out, and then they didn't pay me for 3 weeks. So, which is why you haven't seen me talking about them, but you did see that I had, on the Chevron or on the Chiron down at the bottom, I still had them up because I still had an agreement in place, but they haven't really done anything. So we're going to everybody, if you want to sign up, the 2 places where you can help me the most: KCEX and CoinW. CoinW, by the way, they're going to give you XRP if you sign up and fund your account. They're going to give you rewards if you sign up and fund your account. I don't know what we're going to be working on, but we're going to be working on some big deals over here with CoinW. They're a much bigger exchange than some of these other guys. KCEX, non-KYC, CoinW, non-KYC. When you log into CoinW, when you start CoinW, it'll say something about your region. You can ignore that because they're non-KYC, and it is a non-KYC platform, so you're fine. Now, that being said, let's break down crime, shall we? Let's start off with, okay, so let's get into what I said, and then we can work from there. Okay, so I posted that Brad Beatty of Lillian has been arrested on fraud charges. And then I posted this on MetaChain X. They immediately kicked me out of the group, banned me from the group. So I did tag Stoddy Crypto and MetaChain X on it, so that everybody is clear about what happened. And then Crypto Wizard said you made false claims that he's been arrested. Now, did I make a false claim that he's been arrested? That's possible. That's possible. But I'm going to stand by it, because he's facing 20 years or up to 20 years in prison and up to 3 years of supervised release, a fine of up to $5 million, or twice the gross gain or loss from the offense, and forfeiture. So if they're going to tell me that at no point was he arrested, and I didn't have a chance when I was getting into this, I didn't have a chance to go look at the records to see whether or not he was arrested or not. So I'm going to leave that out there until they complain, and then I have to prove whether he was or was not. I can tell you this. I can't tell you. Shit, I can't tell you. Um, let's just say that everybody who was friends with Brad no longer friends with Brad, and there's a reason for it. So we will see what happens with this. Now, let's break down everything that happened. Somebody who's been on my channel before, VFam. VFam is also involved and also pled guilty. Brad, by the way, pled guilty. And you can see here in this we're going to get into all of that. But I just wanted you guys to know that I was told here that you've made a false claim that he's been arrested. While we're messing around with this, I'm going to pop this up over here. And while we're talking about it, I'm going to go check arrest records. And then if it turns out that I'm a liar, bummer. I'm just going to repost this with the same thing, aside from the fact that he's been arrested, because the fact still remains crime. So let's get into it. This is it. So 18 individuals and entities, and let's do this in dark mode. Oof, gross. 18 individuals and entities charged in international operation targeting widespread fraud and manipulation in cryptocurrency markets. Now, 18 individuals and entities have been charged with widespread fraud and manipulation in the cryptocurrency markets. Now, 4 defendants have pled guilty. Another defendant has agreed to plead guilty, and authorities apprehended 3 other defendants in Texas, the UK, and Portugal last week. More than 25 million in cryptocurrency has been seized, and multiple trading bots responsible for $1 million worth of wash trades for approximately 60 different cryptocurrencies have been deactivated. There's 3 market makers that are involved, and that is ZM Quant, CLS Global, and MyTrade, along with their employees, are charged with allegedly wash trading and or conspiring to wash trade on behalf of Next Fund AI. Next Fund AI is an AI crypto that was launched by the FBI to catch these people doing it. And some of the people that were part of it also agreed to this, that they would launch it for the FBI so that the FBI could watch this thing in action. A 4th market maker, GotBit, its CEO and 2 of its directors were also charged for perpetrating a similar scheme. Now, as you come down here, you'll get some clarity in it. Attachment A here, the following individuals and entities have been charged in the U.S. District of Boston, Massachusetts: Alexei Androinin, Fedor Kedrov, and Jawil Jalili for GotBit Consulting. And it says what they did here. We're not going to get into that. And then Riki Liu and Bajun Ao from ZM Quant, and then Andre Zorzes of CLS Global, and then Lu Zhu of MyTrade Market Maker. And really, it says, just as an example here, MyTrade Market Maker was another market maker in the crypto industry that advertised illicit market manipulation services to its clients, including pump and dump consulting service and wash trades facilitated by bots. So that's what they were. That's what they were looking to do. Now, here's where it gets interesting. This is the goods, right? Manpreet Kohli, Haroon Mohsini, those are the guys that are part of Cytochain right now. Nam Tran, who is also part of Cytochain. Max Hernandez is that programmer who's not worth a shit, who couldn't program whatever that stupid wallet was called, Cytamask, I think it was, of programming Cytamask. Russell Armand, Cracky McCracken Crack, you know who he is. And then VFam. Saitama was a cryptocurrency company originally incorporated in Massachusetts in August of 2021. Manpreet Kohli of the UK was the CEO of Saitama. Kohli was arrested in the UK on October 7 of 2024 and is awaiting extradition. Haroon Mohsini of Texas also worked for Saitama. Mohsini was arrested on October 7 in the Southern District of Texas. Nam Tran of Vietnam worked at Saitama and is currently in Vietnam. Kohli, Mohsini, and Tran are each charged in superseding indictments of wire fraud, market manipulation, and conspiracy to commit wire fraud, commit market manipulation, and conduct an unlicensed money transmitting business. Max Hernandez of Massachusetts and Russell Armand of Texas also worked at Saitama and are charged separately and have both pleaded guilty to market manipulation and conspiracy to commit wire fraud and to operate an licensed money transmitting business. VFAM of California is also charged for conduct at a different cryptocurrency company, but as part of that guilty plea, admitted to certain conduct involving Saitama. Now, Saitama allegedly purported to create a series of products that could be used with its token and at its peak boasted a market cap of 7.5 billion. Saitama's leadership allegedly made a variety of false public statements, including that Saitama's business plan had been reviewed by regulators. It had not. That its leadership was not selling the tokens, and they were. They owned, and that the Saitama token was coded in a way that prevented market manipulation. It was not. According to charging documents, in reality, Saitama's leadership was actively manipulating the market for the Saitama token and secretly selling their Saitama tokens for tens of millions in profit. And by the way, the leader of this was Russell Armand. Now, here we go. Saitama's market manipulation campaign allegedly began in or about July of 2021 when leadership coordinated a series of small purchases spread across multiple cryptocurrency wallets. These trades were coordinated on Telegram, where Armand allegedly explained that the goal was to create an illusion of massive buys and new holders to incite people to buy more. We want to list buys to look like it's more buyers. That's the idea. So if you've ever wondered why there were 300,000 people in Saitama and there's only 10,000 or 15,000, whatever the number is, inside a chain, well, there you go, because they were manipulating monumentally the number of wallets and everything to make it look like and appear that there was a lot more going on. So if you got into this because of anybody that you know, and by the way, Saitama has fallen off a cliff. It is down today 70%. Chain is down 70%. A lot of people can't get their money off, by the way, because guess what? Let's pop this up here. You can see right here, this is the chart right now. It is like gone. And a lot of people have their money staked, so they can't withdraw. So those people are gonna get screwed. But 9.6 million market cap. It says 145,000 holders. Now, if you were to go look at the number of holders, they're doing it here as well. In case you didn't know, they had 10,000 holders. I'm going to pull this out here not that long ago, and you can't. I guess you can't see it here. But this is the BNB. Let's try the Ethereum because they launched it on BNB a little while back. Chain, BNB. Maybe the old one's not there from the migration. Anyway, but the point is, there was at one point on the where is Ethereum here? Student coin, no. They must have gotten rid of it. Oh, well, son of a bitch. Anyway, so Chain originally only had about 10,000 holders. Now it's got 145,000 because they can use a market maker to manipulate it. And all they have to do is just infinitely create new wallets. So that's what's going on over here. And now you're seeing just tons and tons and tons of wallets appearing out of nowhere for Chain. When again, there's only 10,000 wallets out of 300 and something thousand. They're trying to recapture that buzz, if you will. And as you can see from this market maker, what they were doing was bringing it in at this price right here. And if you go back here and you just kind of look at it, then you can see here that what they did is they had a value range here from 308 all the way up to 202. And they were comfortable just kind of, ripping their way through that whole thing. So over the last few hours, what you have seen is an absolute breakdown all the way down. People are buying this up, by the way. I do want to stress that since this was announced a couple hours ago, there has been a whole lot of buying the dip going on to pump the price. And if you're going to do that, by the way, you should know that this is going to be spooky, ooky. And you are probably going to be screwed if you do. But, judge your own risk for yourself before committing here, but as I go down here and as we get further down to before it happened, where the absolute collapse started to happen. You can see, by the way, these are the market makers right here doing it for a few bucks here and there. But you can see here, we got exits now for 10,000. We've got exits for 5,000, 1,000, 3,000. We've got dump, 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 dump happening. 3,000 here, 1,600 here, going down, 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 down. Sell after sell after sell after sell after sell, and people buying the dip because guess what? Cult. Guess what? Cult. So anyway, let's continue on here. And this is and by the way, Saitama's leadership allegedly confirmed their purchase to one another, discussed how they were successfully getting others to purchase the cryptocurrency exchange, pump it memes and GIFs. Thereafter, the Saitama leadership allegedly paid several market makers to wash trade the cryptocurrency on cryptocurrency exchanges, including Bitmark, LBank, and XT. The market makers that Saitama paid allegedly included ZM Quant and Gotbit. So that's how this all comes into play. Now, let's take it a step further. Robo Inu, which, guys, I had V on my channel at one point. I was talking to you about Robo Inu because they did pay me for promos. And I know who V was, and she actually came onto the channel and said that she was one of the original founders of Saitama, and she had already gone on another channel and told people that, but she was one of the original founders. And I don't have any inside details, unfortunately, about that because I'm not nosy like that. So with apologies, I take things for face value, and I don't like kind of get into the scams and the schemes of things, but I did have her on the channel. Robo Inu was a cryptocurrency company and token that VFAM created after she left Saitama in 2021. FAM has been charged and agreed to plead guilty to conspiracy to commit market manipulation, to commit wire fraud, and to operate an unlicensed money transmitting business. FAM founded and promoted Robo Inu in the United States. Like Saitama, Robo Inu allegedly purported to create a series of products that could be used with its cryptocurrency. Beginning in or around 2022, Robo Inu allegedly paid Gotbit to artificially inflate the trading volume of the token through wash trades on cryptocurrency exchanges such as Bitmart. By the way, let me also point out here, Bitmart required people to use market makers in order to fluff their volume. If you guys remember, Bitmart was hacked a few years ago. Saitama tokens were hacked from Bitmart. And that was a big thing, if you remember, because this goes back 2 years. And during that time, Bitmart never replaced whatever it was that was going on. And nobody ever had a reason or an inkling of why. And by the way, I'm not saying that we have a reason why now, but I mean, maybe we have a reason why, because it was all a big scam and it was wash trading. Now, let's take it a step further. Michael Thompson, not the good basketball player, the shitty one who ended up working for Saitama at one point. And he was the one that, if you guys remember, he pretended he was the more important, famous Michael Thompson because, hey, it just works that way, Daddy. He signed with the Lakers, I think, one day or something like that. But Michael Thompson, as we know, was with the Lakers for a number of years. I think he was with them for like 12 seasons. So not that Michael Thompson. Anyway, he launched on Cytamask or Cytapro, one of those Vision token, VZZN, was a cryptocurrency company and token that Russell Armand created after he left Saitama in 2023. Michael Thompson of Virginia also worked at Vision. As with Armand, Thompson is charged and pled guilty to conspiracy to commit market manipulation. Vision allegedly purported to be a video streaming service that could be used with the Vision token. While promoting that service, Armand and Thompson allegedly also made misleading public statement about Vision and artificially inflated the trade volume of the Vision token through wash trades. Now, do you think people see it yet? Do you think people see that? Wow, we were just getting scammed by these guys the entire time. Wild, huh? So anyway, that's what we have right now. So so far, we've got Manny the Hitman, we've got Nam Tran, we've got Russ, we've got Max, the horrible programmer who can't program shit, and we got V Fam, who is part of this as well. We got Michael Thompson. But now let's get into one more that's kind of interesting down here. Bradley Beatty, he who, God damn it, I can't tell you. All right. Right. So, God damn it, there's a lot. There's a lot to unpack with this one. Okay. And by the way, it's going to be my um it's going to be my estimation, and I'm going to make a guess here that we'll probably not see Metachain X. But anyway, Lilian Finance was a cryptocurrency company and token founded by Bradley Beatty, 48 of Florida. Beatty is charged in an indictment with wire fraud. Lilian Finance allegedly purported to use blockchain technology in the healthcare industry and to use a portion of proceeds generated from token sales for charitable purposes. Beatty allegedly made a series of false statements about Lilian Finance to attract investors. For example, that he was a defense contractor and that he had addressed Congress on the topic of cryptocurrency. Therefore, thereafter, it is alleged that Beatty generally generated hundreds of thousands of dollars in proceeds from retail sales of the Lilian Finance token and misappropriated a portion of Lilian Finance profits that were supposed to be used for charity. Now, let me also point out that it was my understanding from what I had heard from unnamed sources in this that perhaps they were doing charities and they were doing surgeries. And if you remember Ari, there was Dr. Ari who was part of it. I think what ended up happening is these guys went to the police, that these guys reported this because that charity wallet, there was still money going to charity, but instead of the money going to charity and to do these pro bono cases and to get these children the services that they need, they just gave themselves raises and continued to open that charity wallet and let it run. That's what I believe happened. So I don't know if that's true or not. That's going to be for the feds to decide. But here, Brad is the charge of market manipulation provides a sentence for up to 20 years in prison, up to 3 years of supervised release, a fine of $5 million or twice the gross gains. A charge of wire fraud provides for a sentence of up to 20 years in prison, up to 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of up to $250,000. I'm not going to go into all of this, but let's just click right here and let's look at the lawsuit. Defendant Bradley Beatty lives in Florida. In or about 2021, Beatty and others created the cryptocurrency company Lilian Finance. All right, so beginning in or around 2021 and continuing through at least in or around 2022, Beatty and others and the unknown grand jury perpetuated a scheme to defraud investors of Lilian Finance and the purchasers of Lilian tokens. For example, Beatty made false and misleading statements when promoting Lilian Finance. He misappropriated funds that he promised would be used for marketing and charity. On or about November 1 of 2021, he filed articles of incorporation with the Florida Secretary of State, listing himself as the registered agent. Around November 15, he identified himself as the CEO and founder, and says that he identifies needs, opportunities, and problems in healthcare that employs a next generation financing system, including billing, diagnostics, and data management. Around December 10th, he joined WhatsApp group called Lily Finance Group that included Beatty, Individual One, and others. On or about December 14th, Beatty gave an interview published on YouTube in which he promoted Lilian Finance and the Lilian token through multiple false and misleading statements. For example, he had previously addressed Congress on the topic of cryptocurrency, that Beatty and Lilian Finance had contracted with the Department of Defense, and that certain funds generated from the Lilian token will be used for a children's healthcare charity. On around December 16, he created Bradley Beatty 11.eth on Twitter. Around January 2nd, he sent a WhatsApp message to the team, falsely claiming that former First Family supported Lilian Finance, including the following message: Laura Bush is the First Lady to President Bush. We have full support from the president and his wife since 2013. That was in their chat. On or around January 8th, the website published details of the smart contract, which included an 8% tax on all transactions that would go to a wallet used for marketing and development, and a 1% tax that would go to a children's healthcare charity. On or around January 30, Beatty emailed Individual One instructions for the Lilian token smart contract, including wallet address for the Marketing Wallet and Foundation Wallet. On February 10, he published a press release announcing that it would be available for purchase. On February 11, they were able to buy and sell. On March 2022, transferred approximately 79. Here we go. On March 8th, 2022, he transferred $79,000 from the Marketing Wallet to his personal Coinbase account. On March 14, he transferred $26,000 from the Foundation wallet to his Coinbase account. On March 14, he transferred 58,000 from his personal Coinbase, which consisted of proceeds for the marketing wallet, to his personal account at Suncoast Credit Union. He stole $58,000 from everybody at that moment. On June 15, he transferred $40,000 from the marketing wallet to his personal Coinbase account, and then he transferred 40,000 of that into his own account at Suncoast Credit Union. On October 28th, he falsely claimed on Twitter that patents are pending for the medical blockchain. This is why he could never tell you about the legal process that was ongoing regarding Lillian, because there was no Lillian. There was none of that. Okay. And by the way, they did 4 surgeries. I just want you guys to know that during this process, Ari and the people that were involved performed 4 surgeries. There was enough money for a lot more than 4 surgeries. Okay. So just bear that in mind. November 23rd, he falsely claimed in an interview on YouTube that it would soon be listed on a particular well-known cryptocurrency exchange. Ain't that a bitch? The FBI watches me. Ain't that a bitch? On December 10, he transferred $20,000 from the marketing wallet to his Coinbase account, and then $10,000 2 days later, and then $30,000 a day later, and that $30,000 went into his Suncoast Credit Union account. Now, should it be safe to say at this point that Bradley knew something about this Coinbase listing? Guys, remember, November 23rd of 2022, I'm pretty sure they're talking about me. So if any feds are watching me right now, can I get a tip or something? Like, God damn, you watch the channel. I mean, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go back here right now, and I'm going to look at Lillian. Yeah, here we go. All right, so I got 16 videos. I want to show all. What's the date on that again? Yeah, it was me. Ha ha. It was me. On or about November 23rd, 2022, he falsely claimed in an interview published on YouTube that Lillian token would soon be listed on a particular well-known cryptocurrency exchange. So there we go. I guess that makes me famous. Does that make me famous? Does that make me famous that the feds are watching me? Anyway, next, we've got grand jury realleges and incorporates. This is he has devised and intending to devise a scheme and artifice to defraud and for obtaining money and property by means of materially false and fraudulent pretenses, and that's what the indictment is about. Upon conviction of one or more of the offenses, he shall forfeit all property and real estate and anything, personal property, everything that he took from people. And of course, by the way, remember, anything that's taken goes back to the original investor. So you might end up having to file a claim for that. And I'll be honest with you guys, I put $5,000 into Lilian Finance at one point because they thought, or at least Barney was convinced that this was a real thing. So I put $5,000 in to try to help protect against the dip when it started to dip down. So I'll be filing a claim on this one because yeah. So you might want to, if you have any Lillian tokens left, you might want to have some proof of it, because there's probably going to be a claim that'll be filed when this is all said and done. So Brad, it looks like he has not pled guilty yet. Remember, he didn't show up to court for the last cases. If you guys don't remember, he was sued for fraud when it came to COVID, about COVID masks or N95 masks or something like that, and he just kept failing to show up in court and was getting default judgments, and they couldn't enforce the default judgments because I guess all his money's in crypto. So He had no income. They had nothing to attach or anything like that. But let's go into the big dog here and let's see what happened with Russ the Bus, Saitama Guru 1. Look, guys, and we've had a great time listening to all the bullshit that's been going on with these guys. But let's go through the background here. And then among the manner and means by which Armand and all of the rest of the people carried out, they engaged in manipulating practice, soliciting investors to buy the token on or about June 21. Here we go. They coordinate a series of manipulative trades on Saitama tokens, including through messages exchanged in a private Telegram chat room named Detective Saitama. For example, on July 3rd, Russell at 1:47, he proposed creating a Telegram shill group, some bots, some people, but a lot of people will join. And then he says, we will create an illusion of massive buys and new holders as Telegram gets flooded, and it'll incite people to buy more, basically creating our own pump through illusion and getting a few wallets out in the process. So what they were going to do is they were going to do a bunch of buys to make it look like they were going to put their money up. They were going to make a bunch of buys to make it look like people were investing, people were coming in. And then, of course, that would pump the chart. When that pumped the chart, they would pull out a few wallets in the process and they would all get rich. At 3 o'clock that same day, he said, keep small buys coming. Have done 4 to 5, I think, so far, just small, steady buys. If nothing else, we did create hype and added holders. Holders are increasing nicely and distribution is looking much better. We will just have to coordinate our buys closely. The idea is to keep the chart trending upward to generate traction and stability. We'll keep people from wanting to sell and will instead buy more. July 4th, he said, ladies and gentlemen, that is how you start a hype. Perfectly executed. Well done all. Still have to keep small buys incoming. Lots of people watching the chart right now. Then later on, for example, in June of 2021, Armand and the rest of them solicited donations from holders claiming the funds would be used to pay for expenses related to operating the business. Thereafter, they used a portion of the donated funds for other purposes, including purchasing more tokens. So, God damn it. Guys, sometimes it just gets, you know it's obvious in hindsight, okay? You want to believe it when it's happening. And look, all of us, I mean, almost all of us we were in on this. You know what I mean? In some way, we were looking at Saitama. We were looking at what it was doing. We were looking at that $7.5 billion market cap. We didn't see it at the time, but we just kept seeing up only on Saitama. It was just up, 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 up and away. It was just continuing to run. It was going crazy. And you know what's crazy, by the way? This. Hey, McFly, why don't you hit the like button? What is wrong with you? What are you doing? Hit the like button. I mean, come on, bro. Ski. Share it on X if you're on X, by the way. But, we were all feeling it. Now, let me tell you something. I never got into Saitama until after November 13. And I think I told you guys, I recognized that it was going from, I want to say it was like 708 to 709 for a long period of time. And I was fortunate. I was fortunate to get in there, and I didn't make a huge chunk. Like, I'm not one of these I'm not one of these Jake Gagans. You know what I mean? I'm not one of these Rodneys. I didn't make $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $5 million. I didn't make millions off of it. I'm not like one of those doctors from the other scam. I'm not like, I'm not those guys, but I made a few bucks off of it. Just doing some good trading, buying at the 8, selling at the 9. And I did that for almost a month. And I think I cleared somewhere near 30 grand. Terrarium, that's what it was. Terrarium was the other project. Can't wait to see a lawsuit on that one. I wonder if that's ever coming. Be interesting to see. But so beginning July 21st, they did this. And then they promoted us. I reference on Twitter, Saitama's rating on DEX tools. Beginning in September, they promoted Saitama through its website, which contained materially false and misleading statements. For example, Saitama's website published a white paper, an informal document describing their mission statement and business plan, which falsely advertised that the white paper had been reviewed by regulators. In fact, the white paper had not been reviewed by regulators. Another example, they falsely advertised that Saitama token was coded in a way to prevent big wallet holders from trying to manipulate the price in their favor or from dumping the tokens by selling out. There was no coding that prevented manipulation or large-scale sales on Saitama token. So they were lying to you and they were deceiving you in that regard. And by the way, how do we not have a bunch of people like we're all kind of smart at this point, right? We're not idiots anymore. How do we not see that in the contract that you couldn't do that was, you know, where was Skywalker back then? Where was Zach XBT? Where were all these guys during that time? Promoting a cryptocurrency exchange on the Saitama website, as well as various social media platforms, including YouTube and Twitter, and conducted the exchange as a money transmitting business without complying with the registration requirements and regulations prescribed thereafter. For example, starting in August of 2021, Saitama website advertised that Saitama had created a cryptocurrency exchange that would be a one-stop shop where you can connect your payment system of choice and be able to buy, sell, swap, transfer, and do whatever you need to with any coin. That was called Saitamask. For those of you that don't know, or for those of you that are neophytes to this, it was called Saitamask. And Max Hernandez was the guy that was programming. And Max programs way worse than he eats, because that fat boy, that guy could not program because he could not get Saitamask to work. So on or about January of 2022, the Saitama website advertised that the exchange was available to the public beginning on or about the same date. You guys remember, it didn't work. By the way, those of us that were making videos about it, that were watching this, you know, because I was making videos at the time, Rodney was making videos, Jake was, we were all making videos at the time. We were all watching this with just, you know, waiting for that moment where it would actually shine or where it would actually work and stuff like that. And then it started to roll out. When it rolled out, shit didn't work. And it kept crashing, and it was a disaster. So going down, Armand and Hernandez took steps to avoid the legal consequence of their action by hiding the proceeds of their sale and relocating their operations overseas. February 14th, 2022, in a private Telegram chat room named Saitama Dev Team, Armand and Hernandez discussed moving Saitama's operation outside the United States, stated that U.S. is easiest to get in trouble, LOL, and that in the future, Saitama needed to avoid the U.S. Potential lawsuits will follow if this goes sideways. We will reallocate to another country. That is putting it lightly. And then, if you guys remember, Saitama had been registered here, and they told you that at that point they were going to migrate to Dubai with a more favorable set of laws and regulations, and that somebody, I think it was Manny the Hitman, was going to move there or had moved there, whatever it was. On or about April 20th of 2022, Hernandez sent a WhatsApp message to Armand stating that he was considering removing himself from the leadership to avoid being part of Saitama when the SEC shows up. On July 1 of 2022, when Saitama filed a notice of cancellation in Massachusetts and announced via Twitter that it would migrate operations to Dubai of the AE. On January 2023 and in or around December, Armand and others engaged in schemes to manipulate the market for Vision tokens by creating the appearance of legitimate trading volume. And then this just goes on to tell you everything that they did for all of that. And then on or about November 15 of 2023, remember, this is when Russ disappeared, by the way. We're getting close to the end here. So Armand stated, we'll do a few more buys to create some new hype. And then Thompson said, yes, sir, go. Armand then stated, now organic buys are coming in. Not my first rodeo. I may know a thing or two about what I'm doing on occasion. Now you'll see narratives switch on social media. He says, man, you are the crypto messiah for real. Remember, by the way, guys, I want to say this. Russ took a lot of heat from a lot of people every single day in the early days of the failures of everything that was going on in Saitama. He kept taking it on the chin day in and day out. This is the reason, because they were making money out the back door like nobody's business. So all he had to do was deal with some harsh words at the time. On December 5th, Armand and Thompson participated in a Telegram conference call in which they discussed their plans to make manipulative trades. And Armand stated, I'm going to create a self-inflicted pump and create FOMO on my own. What that does is create the appearance of a massive buy wall, and that's how you generate FOMO. In response to a question about whether Armand had sufficient manpower to create a self-inflicted pump and FOMO, he stated, it is a one-person thing. It takes me and my laptop. That's it. I got 100 different wallets I can create and do all that shit with. On December 9, he traveled to Massachusetts with the intent to obtain a cash investment for Vision from a potential investor. The United States realleges and incorporates by paragraph 1 through 8 and 1 through 35. And then it goes on to say, that he has committed wire fraud, and he had devised all of these schemes. Also, that he has look, there's just a list of everything that has happened there. So, yeah, Russ and his $1 million blow nose. You know what I'm talking about. Damn. So, what do you guys think? That is absolutely, it's absolute insanity. It's absolute insanity. And remember, by the way, let's go back here and let's talk about Saitama. The doctor, I can't remember his name. Who was the doctor from Terrarium? Anybody remember? If you remember the doctor in Terrarium, type it into chat right now, please. Oh, and while you're at it, hey, McFly, why don't you hit the like button? What is wrong with you? What are you doing? Hit the like button. Dr. Praveen, there we go. All right, so Dr. Praveen was, and by the way, he made a good amount of money. He made a good amount of money on Saitama, but he was also trying to protect the chart. At one point, when the price started going down, he went back to his hotel room from that November 13 thing that they were having out in Vegas. He went back to his hotel room in order to buy more Saitama in order to hold the floor, because he had made so much money and he was doing so well on it, stuff like that. And I think at one point, if he had cashed out the top, I want to say he had somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 million. And he didn't cash out 60 million, by the way. Not even close to that. But the point is, he probably could have. And I got some buddies who cashed out millions on that too. So, like all these guys had this, great big belief in all of this shit. And that led to Dr. Praveen moving out with Milton, and they all formed Terrarium with, and by the way, here's where it's going to get interesting. Let's just consider, if you will, for a moment, what we just heard and what we just witnessed, right? With all of this stuff going, we had allegations that they were going to be listed. I think it was on Kraken or something like that never came to fruition for Saitama. We had this thing going on with Brad down here about being listed on a prime exchange of Coinbase, and it was not real. And look, I don't know for sure, because, and if what I do know, I'm not at liberty to say, but I have a feeling that maybe Brad had hired somebody, might even be somebody named William. It's that's I don't have a last name, so it's not an allegation without a last name. But if you guys remember, there was one big wallet that cashed out at the top on Lilian Finance, and that was a guy named William, who also created the 100x gems token. And if you remember, with 100x gems, it created smart contracts, which is why I made Elon Muskrat, was because I was doing that as a promo for him to do something to prove, as a proof of concept, that it worked. If you guys don't know, he stole the liquidity out of 100x gems. That's why 100x gems is gone now. He sent a message out saying, sorry guys, and I just can't do this anymore, whatever it was, and just dipped out and stole the money. In the meantime, Brad, William, all these other guys, all of these other tokens that are in this ecosystem, and don't forget that Vision was part of it, and there it is, and then Robo Inu with VFam, that all of these were in on the same vast sort of conspiracy to defraud all of us. Every single one of us. They didn't care at all. It's absolutely bonkers, all of this stuff that was happening over here. And guys, look, I'm going to put, for those of you that don't have it, I'm going to put in the chat right now. That's the link to the justice.gov website in Massachusetts, where all of this filing is. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to click on this, and you can pull that up with the 8 individuals that it happened. And we got Faltron having a good time out here, by the way. Check this shit out. By the way, just so you guys know, I called Faltron because I couldn't help myself, and that dude is laughing his ass off, okay? He was Faltron, don't hate me, but I'm about to play this shit for you.
You know, I always would give you shit, right? But I always knew that you were a good dude, right? I feel like there's a lot of us that get sucked into kind of the lies of crypto devs because we're hope.
I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but yeah, he was laughing his ass off. Okay, this is one of those days where, and by the way, look at this. Aaron Saitama is Haroon, one of the guys, and Russ, and he put them all in a chat just so he can say, "I heard you MFers are going to federal prison." He was joking about that. That's in May of 2022, by the way. And he never deleted the chat, and now he's posting in there. So shout out to Faltron, who, by the way, disappeared off of who disappeared off of X for a little while and is now back. So just wild times, guys. I can't stress to you how crazy this stuff is. By the way, did you know you can be convicted of wire fraud without being arrested until after the trial? So it is possible that that guy who was saying that Brad had never been arrested, he might be telling the truth about that. By the way, Cytochain is now up. Since we started talking about this, it's up 75%. Unfucking believable. People are eating this dip up. Are you kidding me? Jesus Christ. So we did this. We started this. Where are we at? 47 minutes. So 47 minutes ago, it was flatlined at 302. It's now at 304. So it's up almost 100% from that dip right now. So that's just bonkers. That's just bonkers. Guys, God, get a room or something. I don't know. Listen, this is wild. This stuff is crazy. And I don't know what to say other than, by the way, this time, hit that like button on your way in, by the way, because you assholes, guess what? Who was right? What did I tell you guys was going to happen to this market? What did I tell you was going to end up happening to this market? What did I say was going to happen? Did I say dip? Did I say we were going to dip, dibbity, dip, dibbity, dip, and that where was my buy order set? 60,400. Guess where we hit before reversing? 60,400. And guess what happened? Believes now has a long at 60,400. Also, by the way, here's the best part of the long, in case you didn't know. The long was set up on JumpX, which is now out of business, so fuck that. So I just want to let you know that happened. Yeah, my long was going to be 500 at 60,400. I was going to use 20x leverage, and it got tripped, and now they're shutting down. So I was right, but I ain't getting shit for it. So if you guys want to donate to the crypto wallets down below, by all means, go ahead and do that. So anyway, in the meantime, let me tell you what I did do. Bought another 600 API 3. I got that at 130.05 or 1.305 cents. Right now it's trading at 129.15. It is my belief that API 3 is just like the rest of the market, by the way, about to explode. I told you guys before, we need a correction. We need a corrective move. We need some downside pressure, and then this market is going to start soaring. Now, the reason that it's not soaring today is going back to this. This is probably pretty big, okay? This is probably a pretty big deal here overall when you consider that it is clear that the FBI was going after a specific situation with these market makers, okay? This is very specific what they were doing here. And it included, as we scroll down here, that they were involved with a whole bunch of other people in this, which led to all of Saitama and everything. Because if you notice here, this is all rolled up into one big thing, 18 individuals with widespread fraud, manipulation, and crypto. So this was all one big net that they cast out here, and they caught up, 4 tokens that were in on the same thing with 4 different firms. So I don't know that this is a broad indictment of the entire crypto ecosystem. If we were to come over to, let's say, our favorite news sources, right? Is it the end of the world? That's the question right now. What does the Fed minutes mean? No. XEC official predicts 3 trends just in. Crypto charges 4 firms for market manipulation. There we go. So that's in there, but that is one article. That's not even the main article at this point anymore. If we come over here, charging 14 people, yes, that is a part of it, but let's go into the news. I guess we should do the news here. It's not even on the main page anymore of Watcher Guru. Over here on the block, let's we're going to reduce this size just a little bit here. We're going to go down to 150. FTX, nope. Trump Connected World Liberty, nope. Bitfinex, nope. ARK Invest, nope. It's not even on the front page. Here we go. It is part of it, but it's just one article. So this thing is going to fade very rapidly. Crypto, luckily, does not have a long memory. So we're going to be looking at this. We're going to be looking at this bad for a few days, but after this, then I don't think that we, I think that this is going to be shrugged off, and we're going to continue on. Now, when I say this, here's what I mean. When we're, it's 6:34 right now, it is almost 7 p.m. At 7 p.m. my time, which is Central Chicago time, at 7 p.m., the market resets. When the market resets, it's the Asian market on the clock. The Asian market is staring at a $46 billion hole in crypto. They're probably going to be on a buying spree to try to pump the price. So what we're going to have to digest, and what we will digest in the morning, by the way, is going to be the FOMC minutes, which we got today. And by the way, if you look at the Dow Jones was up 431 points. Almost at an all-time high all over again. Thanks, Joe. I don't mean that, by the way, but the reason I can say thanks, Joe, meaning thank you, Joe Biden, is because it's not really Joe Biden, but it's also not really Donald Trump either. It doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't matter who the president is. I can't stress this enough to you guys, and I got to stress this over and over again because I got to prepare you for this election because it does not look good. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys that right now. It does not look very good for the easy path in cryptocurrency. Okay, does not look like Donald Trump has got this in the bag anymore. Okay, you have to look at some far right wild sites to get that feeling, and that's not what the general market is telling anybody. And for people who say, well, they didn't get it right in 2016. Yeah, James Comey, that James guy for the FBI that dropped dime on Hillary Clinton 7 days before that, he's not there anymore to sway the election and say the FBI is investigating this woman. You know what I mean? Like that's not going to happen again. I mean, maybe happen. That would be good. I'm not going to say it'd be great. I don't have a problem with Kamala Harris. I don't have a problem with Donald Trump. I don't have a problem with any of these guys, but I don't think that's going to happen. So that being the case, the popular kind of majority sort of voting principles are probably going to apply, and it doesn't look good. Okay, it does not look good. So I'm just letting you guys know that we're still going to have $175,000 Bitcoin, but we could have 220, 250 if it was Donald Trump. Okay, just that's just the way that it works. By the way, there's a total of 420 people. You stoners, you guys are stoners. You smoke, you're stoners. We're 420 people watching over all 3 platforms. I'm simulcasting right now on Facebook, on X, and on YouTube. And we have approximately 420 people watching. So you guys got to stop smoking that stuff. You guys stop. You got to stop. It's not good for you, by the way. It can't be good for you. Can't be good for you because it's all natural, right? And everything that's all natural is bad for you. Or no, wait, that's processed foods. That's the sugars and stuff. Never mind. You know what? Go ahead. Do your thing. Anyway, this is absolutely bonkers. Okay. Now, Chinese market probably going to be in a buying spree, or they'll flush it out and they'll bring it down to where the liquidity is. Bitcoin, look at this. I told you guys, and it is playing out not to perfection yet because I said 57,000. However, if we go to the liquidity and we look at our liquidation heat map and we do it on a longer time frame, because that's what matters, you can see right here, all this stuff I told you today when we were kind of ranging here this morning. And I said, the most likely scenario is this downward motion, right? And then they move back up here. But when we go to the higher time frames and we go to like a 1 month, then what we start to see is that there is a lot of liquidity coming down here in that 57,000 range. And what do you see right here on this chart? Everything is moving down, heading towards 57,000. By the way, that's not the market dumping. That's not people. That's not retail selling out on crypto. That's manipulation. That's all this is. The charts are being manipulated by a lot of different people who are selling out on it, getting it down here because they're market makers. And what do they have down here? They get a bunch of buy orders set because they're going to buy a whole bunch of Bitcoin right around 57,000, because it'd be stupid to buy it at 60,000 right now. Like me, 60,400. That's where I said, just in case it reverses. By the way, if it were to go down to 57,000, I wouldn't lose anything. It would have to go down to like 52,000 before I would lose. Plus, I was using a cross position and I had an extra couple $100 in there. I wasn't using it all. So that cross would allow me to have some additional leverage. So it was like 52,000. So I wasn't really worried about it coming all the way down. But that big reversal, that big time reversal will come right after we hit that 57,000, in my opinion. So again, here we are at 60,600. By the way, this does represent a region of interest here at 60,426 right here that we might get a strong bounce off of. We got a test here. We have a test here. We had some testing right here. We had some testing right here. We had some testing right here. We had some testing over here and over here. So there is plenty of support riding on this line right now. It is possible that this is the bottom for this, it's possible that this is it. But here's the thing. Are you scared? Are you like, oh, maybe we're not going to have a bull run? If you don't feel that way right now, if you're not legitimately feeling scared that we're going to lose it all, if you're not feeling that way right now, guess what? We're going lower. Okay. The market is not here to make you feel good. Not yet, anyway. That's what the bull run is for. The market right now is designed to shake you out of position. Okay. So get ready to get shaken out. And by the way, one of the other pieces is maybe when we look at our Bitcoin ETFs, we're looking at the heat map. Come on, please, you idiot. All right. So the flows so far on the Bitcoin ETF is Grayscale posted a 0, Easy Bitcoin a 0, BTC Arkham minus 716, which is 44 million exiting the market in a day. Again, remember we had all these green days in a row. Let's pull this up on the screen here. We had all these green days in a row. Now, guess what? 5 of the last 7 are red. So consider that, we're probably at the end of a shakeout. The Ethereum ETF, we have nothing across the board today. And yesterday was -8, but at least it's had 3 of, it's 3 and 4. So we still have outward flow. I think it's going to stop. I think it's going to chill out just a little bit. And I think that we're going to have the big reversal. So I want to say that I think this market is set to, there could be another flash dip. Like we come down here one more time, move around like this, and then boom, we start to take off one more time. Guys, if you look at the chart every single time, if I zoom back out to the daily, then you see it happening over and over and over. And man, why did I don't know what I did to this chart, but this chart is angry with me. God damn it. Okay. So let's close this out for right now. So this is what the chart looks like, okay? It looks like we're on the uptrend. It looks like we're going to have a breakout. If you just consider that this is where the bounce comes in, 57,000 at worst, and then it's going to range back up here in that 68,000 range. Like we're still not getting there. Here's the problem, by the way. If we were looking at it from a problem context, we had a lower high every single time here, lower high, lower high, lower high, real lower high, still a lower high. We're still headed in a downward trajectory. We have not broken trend officially. Now, if you were to look at it from a shorter time frame, then you would say, hey, this here, higher high, higher high, lower low, lower low. When this plays out, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lower low. So you might say, well, this is a trend reversal and we're heading up here. And that would be fair to say, in my opinion. However, we break this down and we say, well, let's close that out. And then let's say same thing. We did that same thing right here and here. And you could argue right there. But in the meantime, we did that here and then here and then here. We were on that upward trajectory for a breakout from there. And we ended up breaking down even further. So, we could be looking at the way this market is kind of structured right now, that you might see a little downward momentum. I don't know that we're ever going to see another $50,000 Bitcoin. Okay. That's what, that's might have been what this was right here. That might have been that last gasp to hit that little region right here. Could be the last time we saw 50,000 ever in this market. We could see just up only in very short order very soon. And then, by the way, the retest, when we have this conversation, when are we going to have this conversation? I mean, it's 2023, it's 2024. So it's 2023 when it started. So 2027, when we have this conversation in 2027, we'll probably be at a $70,000 Bitcoin, and I'll be imploring you and begging you to buy Bitcoin at somewhere between 70 to 60,000 and saying, look, that's the bottom now, and that it's going to go back, because guess what happened? When you consider that right here, that's the bottom right there. And that's exactly what happened. If you hold on to it for this period of time, boom, it breaks out and it goes up. Now, just consider this, by the way, at one point down here, we were back down to a $15,000 Bitcoin. We were at a $15,000 Bitcoin not that far back. And now we're at 70,000, almost 60,000 Bitcoin. You're up 4x on your Bitcoin if you just listened. So we're going to listen this time in, be 2026, 2027. We're going to be listening, because that's where the bottom comes into play, and we're going to hold that stuff on the bottom, and then we're just going to let it set it and forget it, if you will, and this market is going to absolutely take off. So by the way, if you haven't already, consider signing up for CoinW. It helps me out tremendously. KCEX helps me out tremendously. If you want to do futures trading, we're going to do a lot more futures trading going forward to let you guys know what positions need to be, that you need to be in. Let's look at a few of these charts right now. Trump, that's not a buy zone for me. I would suspect here. Let's go to the 1 hour to get kind of a clearer look here. So we want to take it from the impulse, and the impulse move seems like it came right there. So if we were to look at it from an impulse standpoint and say this is there and then this is there, then we just bounced off the 786 back into the golden zone. This would be your accumulation spot, but I feel like the market might have a little bit. I want to see how the market plays out before I would suggest to you to get back in. But look, if there's one coin for the next month that you're going to want to hold on to, that one right there. It's going to be Trump. Now, what did I tell you that I did earlier? I bought a bunch of more API 3. Do I think that API 3 is going to explode over the next month? Not really, but I don't know for sure. I'm not sure what's going to end up happening, but I don't want to miss out, because if I can get this look, I told you guys before, I'm pretty sure this thing's going to go to between 100 and 300 in this bull market. And when we turn on a dime, and we will turn on a dime, like we will turn very, very soon. This is still October. And November is going to be good too. So when we turn, it would be nothing to see this thing. Let's go back to the daily over here. It would be nothing to see this thing rip. I mean, roar all the way back to $5, not in a heartbeat, but in the course of 2 months, 3 months. So I think there's a big play happening here. And I think that there is going to be a big run coming very, very soon. So that's why I'm going to hold on to API 3. Look, I don't think that Bitcoin is going to 5x simply or 4x simply, but I think API 3 is probably going to do that. I think MSI is probably going to do that, but I don't think MSI is down at the bottom anymore. I think MSI needs a moment here to kind of regroup off of their impulse move, which was this move here up into this range. And again, you're kind of in this zone right now. So I think it's going to rip, but I don't know if it's going to run as deep as API 3 over the long term, but it might. It just might. You never really know. So Solana, look, Solana, I think is we're hitting the zone. By the way, just to clarify here, this is what everything looks like. Okay, there is this kind of range here that we've gone through, right? We just kind of top. This broke out a little bit. This broke out a little bit too, but it still came back in. This one bounced off of it and looks like it's about to continue on. So it looks like we're actually having a breakout on Solana. So I would suspect that we're probably going to have a breakout on Solana pretty soon. AJ pointed out the other day that VET is having a breakout of its trend line as well and is testing. By the way, if you take this from here down to here, you can see right there that VET has broken out and it's back testing right now. So it probably is going to have a breakout too. But if I go down this list and I start looking at coin after coin and token after token, guess what? I'm going to see I'm going to see the same thing happening. Same thing's happening with Cardano. By the way, don't buy any goddamn Cardano. And you know what? Cardano's having the breakout the same as everything else, by the way. You know, I'm not saying that you shouldn't hold any Cardano, but if you're like me and you're looking to get rich, right? If you don't have, if you're not already a multimillionaire, okay, you're not going to become a multimillionaire by holding on for Cardano and staking and getting 5% rewards. Fuck that. What you need is something that's going to give you 100x. Ladies and gentlemen, API 3, it's going to do 100x. Ladies and gentlemen, XRP might do 50x, right? Because I told you $25, and it makes sense that it would go to $25. MSI, probably a billion market cap when the bull run really kicks off and meme coins start to find space and stuff like that. That's, what is that? It's a 15 million market cap right now, 10 million market cap right now. So that's 100. That's a 10, 20, 20. That's at least 100x, right? So there are 100x's out here. You just got to find them. Now, the other one, and look, this is going to be the crazy one, okay? If there's one crypto that I am enamored with that I think is going to be the biggest when it comes to exponential growth, it's Devi, okay? It's not even close, by the way. I do think that API is due for 100. I bought more API because I think it's due for 100. But I think it's going to rip before Devi rips, which is why I'm going for API 3, hoping that Devi is still, because Devi's got another month of consolidation, at least in my opinion, unless something happens. I know they've signed some deals, and I can't speak to the deals because I don't know who the deals are with, but they are super excited internally about those deals. But if those companies don't announce anything for a while, then, you know, I put my money in other places. I already have a bag of Devi, and I want to thank everybody, by the way. I want to thank all of you guys that have helped me. You guys know I got hacked. You know what happened. So, you know, thanks, especially Pablo. Somebody like Pablo, somebody like Cece, Coins Chick. She stepped up big time. You know, these guys stepped up and they helped me when I need it. So I'm going to hold on to their tokens forever. However, if I want to make the big move, and by the way, Devi hooked me up too, because I have a partnership with them. And look, guys, I can't explain to you. I can't explain this without sounding like an idiot, which, and I'm comfortable, by the way, sounding like an idiot, by the way, because I do it all the time. But there's enough going on in Devi in the background and everything that I cannot be more excited for a project than I am. This is a blockchain that's been in development and been created since 2018. If a company wants to use it, they can use it. If a company needs a permission blockchain in order to fund their transactions, they can do it. The vesting ends right here, November 6th, okay? What you would normally see in the vesting process is you would see a breakout at that vesting process. We saw a breakout already. That breakout from 12 cents last month. Oh, and guys, I just want to tell you, I had 30,000 Devi that got stolen, okay? I had 20,000. And some of it was staked and some of it was in my wallet, right? So it's total of 30,000. That was at 13 cents. That was about $4,000 in that. and it went up to 50 cents after I got hacked. So it 4x'd from there. That would have been 16, close to 20 grand. Close to 20 grand is what I missed out on because somebody had hacked me and stolen my stuff. Same thing with MSI, by the way. My MSI was worth, I want to say 2 grand, 3 grand at, it was way lower than this, but it doubled, almost tripled, maybe quadrupled at one point. So really sucked. So that's why and by the way, partnerships, all that kind of stuff, that's what I'm looking for. I want to talk about your project all the time. That's, that's my thing. That's what I like doing. So anyway, Devi, 26 cents right now. I am pretty sure that this thing is going to end up being a $50 token. Okay. $50 token means that from here right now, that's 1,000x or so. Like that's literally 50 times 4, 2,000. That's 2,000x, 200x, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 times 50, 1,000, 2,000x, 200x. Jesus Christ, it's gonna explode. Okay, let me just say that 400x, it's gonna go 400x from where it is right now, in my opinion. And here's the thing: the way that they feel about it is exactly what I'm telling you right now. That when the announcements happen, and they can't do it because it's Web 2 companies, so they can't do anything. They have to wait patiently for the companies with their proprietary stuff to actually make a move. Okay. So they're kind of hands tied by the powers that be. This is a market cap right now of 10 million with 259,000 in liquidity. Okay. So if you just consider this, if they are right about it, if it's $1 billion project, if it's a $1 billion project, that is 100x from where we are right now. And it is my opinion that that would be undervalued at 1 billion if the rumors are true. And again, look, I've done this with meme coins. You guys know there's plenty of crazy shit with meme coins. This is not a meme coin. This is a permissioned blockchain that's already built multiple different games because it has a gaming arm. This is medical. This is, by the way, if you were to use this chain, HIPAA compliance in the United States is already programmed in. So whatever you want to do on this blockchain, you can do, except if it violates laws. You have built-in protection on this blockchain in case one of your employees do something. William is asking, whatever happened to Terrarium? Did the project just fail? So the project, the project failed. They opened up an exchange. Nobody was trading on the exchange. They had to shut down the exchange. And then they wanted to rebrand it because Milton, who was the CEO, he was just shit talking people and arguing with people all over Twitter, all over every social media. He was going crazy. Okay. He was arguing everywhere. And they had to rebrand. So they decided to rebrand. And it escapes me what the name of the rebrand was. Is it, Matt, anybody still in here that remembers the name of the brand? I don't remember what the name of the brand was. But they rebranded, and that rebrand did not go well. That rebrand did not go well at all. They never even got out of the gate. And by the way, just to be clear here, this was a team that, and by the way, I don't know that they were doing anything illegal. Okay. I don't have any evidence to insinuate that they were, just that they were using your liquidity to cash out and pay salaries for employees. And I don't know who the employees were. When you say that, it would make perfect sense because that's the way a business is run. You take the available money that you have and you pay your employees with it. Well, that's what they were doing. And they were paying for this big project in India where Milton was located. And, so I don't know. I just know that it ended up dying because a couple of the doctors were just like, you know what, fuck this. I don't want to be part of whatever Milton's doing here. I don't want to be part of. That could mean there was something wrong. Doesn't mean that there is, just means that there was a perception. And once you've got that perception, it's very difficult to change the narrative, especially when you're doing this throughout, throughout the bear market. So, this was just a project. Terrarium was just a product or a project that was in the bear market that just failed. It just failed. So I don't know that they were scammers. I don't know I don't know whether they were or were not. Remember, and guys, for those of you that don't know, I originally put in like I want to say $5,000 in Terrarium, and when they got announced that they were going on Binance and the price exploded, I cashed out at the top, and it was like 47,000. So I cashed out 47,000 at that point, and I made a $40,000 profit. And then I bought back in another 5,000 on the dip when it dipped way back down. And then I just held that, and basically I cashed out like 1,000. So out of that, I ended up losing $4,000 back to them of it. But I mean, that was a good play on that day. And look, I am not here to hold on to that bag forever unless I know for certain that something's going up. I got bills to pay. You know what I mean? So I took what I could get when I could get it. By the way, I put that shit into Phantom and lost $30,000 on that. So yeah, I got if I didn't get scammed by an Indian, I got scammed by somebody. So, and then right after that, I put whatever I had left into something called Goat Token, and that one failed too. And it was the same people as Phantom. So they got me for over 40 grand. Ooh, I need water. That's that cottonmouth, son. I'm just kidding. I don't do that. But it's funny to say. I heard Joe Rogan say that one time. Anyway, so if there's any project that I'm really, really just of the belief that what will happen will be phenomenal, it's going to be Devi. If there's another one, it's going to be API 3. Those are the ones. Sui. I think Sui is going to have a nice big run. I think Tron is going to have a nice run. Guys, let me tell you something. I had 1,000 Tron the other day, and I bought it at 15 cents. And at 15.8 cents, I ended up selling it all because I needed the cash. Because again, once you get hacked, you don't have a lot of money. So I ended up having to sell it. So I ended up selling it, and I made a nice little profit off of it. That shit is at 16 cents now. It just continues. Despite the market being down, Tron continues to send. I'm telling you right now, it is my belief that in this next bull run, Justin Sun is going to be the next CZ Binance. Okay. He's under the radar a little bit right now, but I got a feeling that Justin Sun is going to be that guy. And look at this shit. So anyway, I bought, somewhere like right here, or maybe it was on its way up over here at like 15 cents. I got in at over here, right here, around 15 cents, because that would have been mid-September. Yeah. Mid-September, I got in at 15 cents. And then a few days ago, I sold it about a week ago at around 15.6. So 15.8, somewhere close to that. It wasn't exactly 15.8. It was, there we go, 15.7 something. So I caught it, and had to sell right at the end of the month, pay rent, all that kind of shit. So that was the play right there. And look at this shit. It's still going. Still going. If only. So anyway, I think that Tron is going to be big. But let me also point out something, and I want to make this specific because, I don't want you guys to feel misled when I say this stuff, okay? I don't think that Tron has a $13-14 billion market cap. How high can it go? If it goes up 10x, it would be a miracle, but I think that it can go up 10x. When you come down to Toncoin, is it going to go up 10x? I don't think so. I think Telegram is damaged goods at this point, so I don't think that it's going to. Chainlink, what Chainlink does, API 3 does way better and way faster. Chainlink has a $6.6 billion market cap. That's why I'm excited about API 3, okay? Because that's what could happen to API 3. I think that, if you just consider that in the bull run, if you look at Chainlink, just, objectively speaking, we're in here with the all-time market cap, and the all-time market cap up here near the top is not somewhere near $20 billion. Yeah, $20 billion. So at one point, Chainlink had a $20 billion market cap in the last bull run. If we have twice the capital in the market, then it would stand to reason that we would have almost double that market cap. So that'd be 38 billion. So if API 3 just got to 6 billion market cap off of wherever it is right now, API 3 has 100 million market cap right now. So 10x is a 10x is a billion market cap, and that puts it at $15 a token. A 6 billion market cap is a 60x, which puts it at $90 a token, which is what I told you guys before. But if it goes up and doubles that, then that's almost $200 per token for each one of the API 3s. That's why I'm excited about API 3. That's why I think API 3 has this great opportunity. By the way, if you haven't already, because you're like a nerd or something. Hey, McFly, why don't you hit the like button? What is wrong with you? What are you doing? Hit the like button. So anyway, and then if you do the same thing with Devi, and Devi, by the way, this is an AI blockchain. This site can't be reached. Of course not. Why is that? Why am I clicking on Pubmatic? Am I being... What is that all about? Why am I not able to click? All right. Either I'm getting disconnected or there's something wrong with CoinMarketCap, which is creepy. All right. We have CoinGecko. Yeah. That's gross. Does anybody else use it light like this? Turn on dark mode. What a savage. Jesus Christ. Debbie. Okay, so Debbie down a little bit today, but 15 million market cap. It's an AI blockchain. If it goes somewhere near and does the same thing that these other guys are doing, that's an extra 10x. So if API 3 is going to do 100x, this thing's going to do 10 times that. It's going to do 1,000x. That's why I'm excited about something like Devi. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm super excited. And why am I not freaking out when the price goes down? And the reason that I'm not freaking out when the price goes down, for those of you that need to know, it's your signal here. This is your little special signal to let you know. Here's what's going on with it. November 6 is when the vesting process ends. That's when all of the vesting that's happened is completely done and over with. Up to this point, we've still got people who've got vested tokens and they're still getting them released to them. So that's why the sell pressure still exists. So when you see this breakout that happened, you see this 4x that happens right here, you get excited about it, but that's just the start. That's just the market. By the way, this was right after, if you see here, we were still going down. Then boom, the market started to reverse and we started to see a little bit of progress in the market and boom, it takes off, right? Well, now it's coming back down. We're at the vesting process again. Any moment now, it looks like we keep getting the buy up here. Any moment now, I think it continues on, and maybe we go up here into what I think is the next move, and the next move is 96 cents right there. I think that's the golden ratio right now off of this last move, and with that golden ratio being where it is, I think that's, I think we go to $1 basically. So I would expect to see Devi do about a 4x in the next month. You know what I mean? And that's just going to be the start of it. Like, I'm not saying, like, I hope it doesn't do it right now. I mean, like, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I hope that it continues to break down to the end of this month. Not because I don't have, but because that gives me a chance to accumulate more. So, like, I know what I have here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. I know what I have here. So I am excited about Debbie. And I hope you are too, by the way. I hope you are too. And I hope you see what I see. And I hope you go through the process. And by the way, I've got Fiat token as well. So the Fiat token, they're relaunching because the vesting wallet got hacked, or the smart contract with the vesting wallet got hacked. which is crazy because they had it audited and stuff like that. So anyway, that's it, guys. Russ going to jail. Michael Thompson going to jail. Manny the Hitman going to jail. Aaron Saitama going to jail. Nam Tran going to jail. Looks like Brad Beatty going to jail. Looks like VFAM. She pleaded guilty, so probably going to jail too. Looks like we got a whole bunch of people who used to be out here scamming a lot of us going to jail and paying some significant and heavy fines. So justice was served today. If you have any questions, I did post it in the chat over here, justice.gov, and it is in the it's in the Massachusetts district. If you want to go look it up for yourself and you want to go read everything that was going on there, go certainly check it out, because sure is interesting what happens here given enough time. We didn't even know this was going on, but it turns out the feds were watching the whole time. And I hope the Fed subscribed to the channel, you assholes, especially if you were the ones that were watching my show when I did oh, you know what? I wasn't on my show. Ain't that a bitch? It wasn't even on my channel. That's why. It wasn't on my channel. It was on that one Bozo's channel. I don't remember his name, but it was on that other guy's channel that the announcement was made. So, all right, anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. We're up to 800 people right now. We should have stopped at 420. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning for Breakfast with Please. If you don't watch, ew, what is wrong with you? Probably something broke in your head. But look, you should be watching, because it's what Jesus would want you to do if he were here. And I mean, he's everywhere, and we all like him is because, and for you know what the hell I'm trying to say. We'll see you in the morning. From now until November 1st, if you make a deposit of $1,000 at Cryptonomy.finance, you will get a random bonus of between $50,000 and $5,000. Also, guys, if you have anything that you don't understand about Cryptonomy, then I do special research articles on this platform. So if you are interested, you can come check them out. And if you have a question about any of these projects, then there is an opportunity here for you to learn about some of the cryptocurrencies, especially Aerodrome or Carve or something like that. You know, I've got a lot of staking going on right here. I've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Tether, all coming up to be unstaked very, very shortly. So join me in this, reap the rewards like I'm reaping. And folks, don't forget, not only is Cryptonomy a robust staking platform, but it's also a venture fund.